Everything President Biden touches these days goes to, well, you know the rest. The latest victim of Biden's poor luck is New York City Mayor Eric Adams. It's all gone wrong for Adams since he met with Sleepy Joe just last week. First, he was forced to apologize after a video surfaced from 2 years ago where he made a racially charged comment about white police officers.
Every day in the police department, I kicked those crackers' ass, man. I was unbelievable. You know the story. Some people all of a sudden trying to reinvent me. But the reality is, what I was then is who I am now. I would rather wear white all day, grow a beard, smoke some weed, and leave this stuff alone.
Wow. While Adams was trying to clean up that mess, another scandal struck as he was photographed violating New York City's mask policy just days after he doubled down on mask mandates in the Big Apple. Now, rather than focusing on the crime crisis, Adams spent today lecturing New Yorkers about the importance of a vegan-based diet.
The more plant-based you eat, the better and healthier you are. That is my question to those who are following me around in restaurants, wondering what I'm ordering. Listen, I'm not doing that. That's noise to me. I got to get New Yorkers to eat a plant-based scented life.
Unreal. City bus drivers, they want bulletproof vests right now. 7 city police officers have been shot this year, and he's worried about the delicious steak that you're eating for dinner. Well, joining me to discuss is former New York City mayoral candidate and the founder of the Guardian Angels, Curtis Sliwa. Curtis, thanks so much for joining us.
I warned you. I warned you. Now you're stuck with this guy. By the way, you missed the winner. The winner of the day was Mr. Chef Extraordinaire said, eating au fromage cheese is the equivalent of shooting up heroin. He equated eating cheese to being a dope fiend shooting up heroin. Like, this is what we need a mayor to do. You're right. We're worried about lead poisoning from bullets being fired.
Well, while he's been getting cozy with Biden, maybe he's been talking to Hunter Biden as well. But, you know, first I have to address that racist comment that he made back in 2019. I was on the fence about whether to play this because, listen, I'm against cancel culture. But you know what? If the left is going to keep pushing it, we don't need to back down on our end as well. Now, listen, if this had been a Republican making a racist comment directed at a minority, they'd be calling for the mayor's resignation. Why is Eric Adams getting a free pass on this?
Because his complexion is his protection. He's African American. You get away with that. Me, if they had, let's say, repurposed something that I had said years ago, and I said, you know, some of the black cops were unfair to me when I was getting arrested because cops hated the Guardian Angels, those blankety blank ends, that would be it. I'd be persona non grata. I would not exist. But I guess right now it's like Elton John could sing a song, I'm the Cracker Man instead of the Rocket Man, right? Because immediately everyone gives this guy, Eric Adams, dispensation. During the race, he called me a racist. Somebody who leads a group of predominantly black and Hispanics in the Guardian Angels. He called Andrew Yang a racist, but he uses the cracker term, and we're supposed to forgive and forget. No, I never forgive you, Eric Adams, and I never will forget what you've said and what you've not done as mayor in the first month. We've had more crime in 1 month under Eric Adams than, believe it or not, in all 8 years in any 1 month of Bill de Blasio.
It's shocking. Yeah, just when you didn't think it could get worse, it did. Do you think that Eric Adams has changed since then, Curtis?
No.
Do you think he's truly sorry?
No. You see, originally they spun it out of City Hall that's black speak. That's how blacks speak to one another. It wasn't meant for a general audience. And then they sort of had second thoughts and said, nah, let me just do my mea culpas and apologize. But this guy has always been an adversary of white people, going back to the 90s when he was a disciple of Screwy Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. And the general mainstream media didn't want to go there during the general election. I mean, I cited dates, times, and places where he adored, he deified Farrakhan, the biggest Jew hater and white hater in America. And again, the mainstream media was like Pontius Pilate. They absolved him of anything.
And you know what's unreal to me is, what we talked about earlier, this vegan stuff, this vegan push that he's on. He's telling everybody they got to be vegan right now, and yet it seems to the left that he's not vegan enough. Take a listen to this.
And I'm not going down this rabbit hole of what do you eat? If you eat cake and it has eggs in it, did you analyze it? I'm not doing that.
Curtis, I mean, you look at the problems in New York City right now, and I don't get why this is a priority for him.
Well, look, he called himself a vegan during the campaign. Nobody else did. He knows the difference between a vegan, which is hardcore, being a vegetarian, and eating meats, fowl, and fish. He is a fake, phony, fraudulent fugazi in everything he does. Even to this day, he's such an enigma as the mayor of the city of New York. We're not sure where he lives. He's not in Gracie Mansion. He's not in the townhouse he owns in Brooklyn. And I'm wondering if he's still living over in Fort Lee, which he has lived in, apartment 22H, for a month of Sundays.
Oh, my goodness. And, Politico actually reported there's a restaurant that he goes to on a regular basis, and somebody on the wait staff there, the source that they were talking to, said, you know what, he's been eating fish. So all this vegan stuff, I don't know about that. That's from
Fish.
Politico.
And by the way, the guy who owns the restaurant, a convict, a thug with a long record. Check it out. This guy.
Why is the mayor hanging out with this guy?
He does the double Dutch because he says, well, that's how I get intel. That's how I know what the evil side is doing. I meet with gangbangers who have killed. Let me tell you something. You voted for Eric Adams. Crime is going up. And just remember, Curtis Sliwa told you so, that Eric Adams is a fake, phony, fraudulent fugazi. Who's the Biden of Brooklyn? Oh, he's running around like a little groupie last week. Oh, I'm the Biden of Brooklyn. I love Joe Biden. Oh, come on. We're in a crime crisis. 75% of the offices are empty. You can't ride the subways. This is Fear City, USA. And today he's playing chef extraordinaire, teaching all of us how to eat. Well, guess what? You voters in New York, start eating crow. You picked him, you live with him.
Yep. And, Curtis, he's got this new anti-gun unit also. It seems to be on the right track. It's going to consist of 400 officers. But then it's already upsetting some woke progressives. There's this socialist defund the police councilwoman, Tiffany Caban of Astoria. She put out this statement saying that, quote, roughing black and brown kids up, throwing them against walls or in the streets, surveilling and harassing our Muslim neighbors, making low-level arrests to feed the pipeline of mass incarceration. These didn't make us safe before, and they never will. Your reaction to that?
First off, let's deal with Eric Adams, who all during the campaign promised he would return, as you mentioned, the plainclothes unit, the undercover unit, which is an absolute necessity. Well, it's not going to be plainclothes, and it's not going to be undercover. They're going to wear a different police uniform with a badge and a camera. And let me tell you, all the thugs and thugettes are going to be able to spot 5-0 a mile away. And Caban, who is an acolyte of AOC, all-out crazy, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the Democratic Socialists of America, the Justice Warriors, she believes in no prisons, no cops, and anarchy. She wanted to be the DA in Queens County. She barely lost, and her whole platform was, we don't want to prosecute anybody. Well, maybe if you murder somebody, but nobody else. Yeah. This city is sliding into the abyss. Now you know why the exodus continues to Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Texas, Tennessee, and parts unknown.
It's so true. Yeah, everybody's getting out. And Curtis, before we go, I have to ask, I saw on Twitter you teased a potential run for state Senate.
Congress. I was approached by the Republicans in Nassau County. This is the old Tom Suozzi seat, 3rd Congressional District. And they said, Curtis, we want you to run. And I said, okay, I'll look at the analytics. And then I heard that Alessandro Biaggi, a Democrat socialist, wants to run in that place, who hates cops, who hates prisons, who hates America. And I said, my little pretty, I'm going to break those numbers down because you're going to be Congresswoman over my dead body if that means that I have to run for that seat and save it for America and save it for law-abiding, God-fearing people, because she is the total opposite. She hates cops, she hates America, and she hates law and order.
Well, get her out of here, Curtis. You are always a breath of fresh air. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, by the way, the air here in New York City is polluted, too. There is no fresh air.
Yeah, it really is. Well, that's why we like to have you on. It cleans it up just a little bit.
Thank you.
Thank you.